ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत्सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम्
सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत्सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम्
सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति।
सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति।
सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम्
सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम्
असक्तं सर्वभृच्छैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च
असक्तं सर्वमृच्छैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च
भगवता उक्तं यत् ज्ञेयं तत् अहं प्रवक्ष्यामि यत् ज्ञात्वा अमृतम् अश्नुते यत् ज्ञात्वा अमृतम् अश्नुते that is not said not only here, it is like that Bhagavan has told in the previous chapters also. Jnanam vijnana sagitam yat jnatva mokshase ashubhat. So like that many places. But here, jneyam iti yat Arjunena prishtam. Tasya uttaram. Uttaram Bhagavata atra dattam asti. Yat jneyam, that which is to be known. Jneyam is, Brahma is jneyam. Avishayatvat katam jneyam bhavati Brahma. It is not a Vishaya. Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yat Vachoha Vacham Sava Pranasya Pranaha Chakshushaha Chakshuhu Ata Katam Yeyam Avishayatvat Avishayatvat Nyanyaha Vishayatvat Nasti iti Vaktum Shaketava. No, Na Asat. It is Sat, it is Brahma, Na Sat, Anadibat Param Brahma, Na Sat, Na Asat. It is not existing as an object. At the same time, it is not asat, not existing. Avishayatvat nasti iti api vaktum na shakyate. It is neither sat nor asat. Sat meaning here is important. Meaning is it is not existing as a object, padartha, vishaya. It is not existing. Who knows Brahma as who knows Brahma as a vishaya? Sahana janati eva. Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya vedasaha. Avijnatam vijanata, vijnatam avijanatam. One who says knows it, he doesn't know. One who says who doesn't know, he knows it. Meaning, he knows that Brahma is not a Vishaya, Vishaya Gocharam. It is Indriya Agocharam. It is Agocharatvat. Indriya Agocharatvat. Indriya Agocharatvat Asatvat. Na. Therefore, neither Sat nor Asat. Iti Uktva. But that Brahma Asti eva. Katam Asti. Kim Rupam Tat Brahmanaha. Sarvatah Panipadum. Sarvatah Akshi Shiro Mukam Brahmanaha. Shutimat Sarvatah Loke. Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. Pervading everything, the Brahma Tishtati. Karanatvat. Jagat Karyam. Karanarupena Karanatvat. Sarvam Avritya. What could be all pervading? That must be Karanam. So Tatastha Laksharam. Brahma Karanam Jagat Karyam. Karyotva Jagat Vitya. Brahma Satyam. Karyatvat. Jagat is Vitya. Jagat is Upadhi. Through the Upadhi. Pervades the entire Upadhi, but not touched by Upadhi. Sarvendriya Gudavasam. Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. Clay pervades the entire pot, but clay is not touched by the Nama Rupa of the pot. Therefore, it is Asaktam. And it is a clay which supports the entire pot. Minus clay, the pot cannot exist. Therefore, Sarva Bhratu. And clay pot has got a shape, a form, and it is given a name. What about clay? Clay is Nirgunam. At the same time, it is the clay alone sustains the guna of the pot, the shape and the nama and rupa of the pot, guna bhoktru. So therefore, sarvendriya gunavasam. So this contradiction can be assimilated, can be reconciled, can be understood only when satyam and mithya is understood. And the presentation of satyam mithya is beautifully done through adhyaropa apavada prakriya. Adhyaropa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. That is what Bhagavan here does. That's why 13th chapter is important in all aspects. In presenting the values, in presenting the prakriya of the Vedanta. All the contradictions are resolved. Resolved means they are not contradictions. Satyam and Mithya, contradiction. It will be a contradiction when they both enjoy the same reality. It is not. Therefore, there is no contradiction. Mithya is Vyavaharika, empirical reality. Satyam is Paramarthika, Satya, reality. Therefore, Satyam can never be touched by Mithya. Satyam can accommodate any amount of Mithya. Satyam always will be Satyam, remains untouched. Asaktam Brahma, Asaktam, Anadimat, Param Brahma, Nirgunam, Gunabhoktru, Sarvabhratu, Sarvendriya Gunavasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. And that Brahma is Sarva Vyapi. Therefore, what is inside, what is outside? What is inside of Brahma? What is outside Brahma? There is no inside, outside. Again, that also clarified that contradictions. I think that also we saw in the last class. Let us read the Shloka next class, 16th Shloka. We discussed that also, I think. Bhagirantascha bhutanam acharam charameva cha
बहिरन्तश्च भूतानामचरं चरमेव च
सूक्ष्मत्वात् तदविज्ञेयं दूरस्थं चान्तिके च तत्
सूक्ष्मत्वात् तद्विज्ञेयं दूरस्थं चान्तिके च तत्.
This Brahma Chaitanya Atma, it is Bhagihi. Okay, if it is Bhagihi, then what is Antaha? There is no Bhagihi, there is no Antaha. Therefore, this Jnayam was to Brahma, that which is Bhagihi Antaha. It is not divided by a wall, a periphery. Shariram is there, Shariram has got a periphery, therefore inside, outside. Inside body parts are there, organs are there, inner organs. Outside space is there. This body is a wall. So Brahma is divided like that. Because Brahma, the Chaitanyam is inside, then what is outside? Outside, there is no inside and outside for Chaitanya. There is no inside, there is no Gata Akasha and Para Akasha. Akasha is only one. It is as though conditioned by the walls of the pot. Similarly, Chaitanyam is Chaitanyam. It is as though conditioned by the walls of the body. The Chaitanyam, the water is only one water. But in the same water, the sun is reflected. This body is like a small a pool of water where there is reflection of the sun. So the sun is not contained by the pool of the water. Similarly, this Brahma Chaitanyam, that Yayam Brahma, it is Bhagihi Antaha Cha. It is both inside and outside. By saying it doesn't have it doesn't have inside outside. That that status is not there. Bhagihi Antaha Cha. It is inside as well as outside. Means it is transcends. It is Dehat Bhagihi Bhagyam Dehat Antaha Api Dehasya Ante. So Dehasya Ante Dehantere Madhye Sarvabhutanta Ratvat. देहात् भाग्यमपि सर्वव्यापकत्वात् सर्वान्तरात् सर्वभूतान्तरात्मत्वात् अन्तः सर्वव्यापकत्वात् भाग्यः. So it is same. There is only one Brahma Chaitanyam. Acharam charameva cha. Acharam referring to that which cannot move. Stavaram, all those. Chetana vastu. And charam which moves. Chetana. Achetana is in the Achetana Vastu Brahma is. The Chetana Vastu also Brahma. Because it is Achetana, not that it is Anatma. Anatma is sustained by Atma. But the Achara Vastu, in the Acharam, the Stavaram, not in the Stavaram, of course, we take it as living beings. In the Achara, meaning Parvata, mountain, Achala, that is also Atma only. Only thing is, doesn't have a Sukma Sharira. A rock is also Atma only. Doesn't have a Sukma Sharira to manifest the Atma, the Chaitanya. So therefore, Acharam, both the moving and non-moving. Non-moving is Jada Vastu, Achetana, excepting the plants. Plants is not Achetana, it is Chetana, living thing only. It's an exception. So both the Chetana, Achetana Vastu, they are sustained by Brahma. Chetana exists. In the Chetana Vastu, Brahma manifests as Chita, Chaitanya. In the Achetana Vastu, the same Brahma manifests as Sat, existence. So that which is Chitta is nothing but Sata and Chitta. So therefore, Bhutanam, Acharam Charame Vacha, and it is Sukshmatva. Indriya Gocharatva. That is Sukshma. It cannot be known by Indriya. Sukshmatvat, Avigneyam, therefore it is not Gneya by Indriya. Indriya Pramanaihi, Pratyakshadi Pramanaihi, na Gneyam, Gneyatvam Nasti. Shastra Pramanaihi eva, Shastra Pramaneneva Bhagavantam Shakyate. It doesn't have form. Brahma doesn't have form. Therefore cannot be known, cannot be grasped, cannot be known by the eyes. Doesn't have smell, cannot be known, therefore cannot be known through the nose. Yatadadresham agragim agotram avarnam chakshushrotram tadapanipādam. Nityam vibham sarvakatam susukshvam tadavyayam yadbhutayonim paripashyanti dhīrāha. So yat adreshyam, agrakyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshuhu doesn't have eyes. Ashabdamasparashamarupamavyam tatharasam nityam agandavachayat. Anadyanantam navatah parandravam nichayatan mrityamukat pramuchyate. In Kathopanishad we saw. It is Ashabdam, Asparasham, Arupam, Avyayam, Arasam, not available for the taste buds. It is Nityam, Agandavat, doesn't have smell, cannot be known through the nose. Therefore, must be Sukshma. Sukshmatvat, Avigneyam, not available for knowing as a Vishaya. Avigneyam, Visheshataha, Jnatum, Veditum, Ashakyam ashakyatvat that Brahma durastam dure tishtati antike cha dura and antika. Contradictory. It is far at the same time it is near. Far for whom? Far for whom who tries to objectify the Brahman. It is far from that person for knowing. For Sukshma Darshinam, it is Samipe Vartate, one who has a penetrating vision. Tattavit Jnani, Paramartha Darshi. For him, it is Antike, it is near. So it is near for those who have the Sukshma Buddhi. It is far for them who has got Stula Buddhi. Therefore, Stula Darshinam, Dure Stitam Bhavati Brahma. Sukshma Darshinam, Samipe Tishtati Brahma. Therefore, it is Sukshmatvat, Avijnayam, Durastam, Antike Chatat, Sukshma Chatat Sukshmataram Vibhati, Dura Sudure Tadihantike Cha, Mundaka. So, therefore, Tad Brahma, all these are description of the Brahma. Asaktam Sabhabrate Nirgunam Gunabhuktru Bhagihi Antaha Cha Vartate, Tad Brahma, Bhutanam Bhagihi Antaha, then Charam Acharam Cha, Sukshmatvat Avijnayam Tad Brahma, and that is it should be Jnayam, that is should be known. Sukshmatvat Avijnayam, that Avijnayam Brahma has to be Jnayam. Katam Shastra Pramanena eva. Avijnayam is from the standpoint of other Pramana. If it is absolutely non-knowable, it is not knowable, then it doesn't exist. That which exists must be available for knowing, for knowledge. Then only we can acknowledge the existence of a thing. That which is absolutely not knowable cannot enjoy the status of existing. It doesn't exist, we can say. Absolutely knowable means doesn't exist. Therefore, it is here, Brahma, which is absolute total. You cannot say because it is not knowable through the through the sense organs. Therefore, we cannot say it is doesn't exist. It doesn't exist when we say, who says? The person says. It is equivalent to saying, I don't exist. It is a oxymoron. I don't exist. I exist. Don't exist. It is paradoxical. I don't exist as an object, but existence is. That existence is cannot be established through sense organs. That's why Sukshmatva. I don't exist when a person say, if you are not existing, then how can you say you don't exist? To say that you must be existing. We can say I don't exist as a something. I don't exist as a pot. That you can say you are not a pot. I don't exist as a pata, gata, mata, etc. But you are existing. Your existence is there. You are aware of your existence. The one who is aware of the of his existence cannot deny the existence of himself. If the person says it's an absolute idiot, abysmal idiot, therefore it is pure existence, and that existence which is you, that therefore you cannot objectify that existence because it is being you. Therefore, it being you, and the sense organs which are all karya, how can the karya objectify the karanam you? Therefore, it is sukshmatvat. That is why Shastram. Without Shastram, it is not possible to appreciate this fact. Impossible. What else, Pramana, what any other means we have to know it? Do we have any other means to know this? We don't have any other means. Shastram alone. Shastram in the form of the words, in the form of the 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 words which can be in any language, need not only be in Sanskritam. But it has to come from the, the Apta Purusha. If it comes from any Apta Purusha, that is Veda. So that's why we say Veda and Apta Purusha Rishis. So Pramanam, it has come from them who has discovered this. That's why Shastram. If it comes from the mouth of any enlightened sage person, that is Shastram. Ramana Maharshi says Shastram, he knows what he says. It can be reconciled with what Shastram says. It has discovered the fact what the Shastram unfolded. Because he doesn't have a guru, so therefore he discovered, can we say he discovered by Pramanam other than this Shastra Pramanam? No. When such questions are asked, always we say them. That is, he must have been yogi in the previous janma, yoga brashta. So that knowledge is carried over to the next janma. And that becomes very natural, the next janma. Therefore, it comes so spontaneously. It is Apta, Vakyam of the Apta Purusha. Therefore, there is no problem in that. So therefore, it must be from the Shabda, from the words of the Apta Purusha, whether Apta Purusha Rishis, Veda, that's why what we call Veda Pramanam. Veda is with the to know. Those who know, they present it so beautifully. And that is Veda. That's why the words of the saints, all these are compared to the Veda. There is no contradiction between what they say and what the Veda says. If there is contradiction, it is a seeming contradiction, not real contradiction. So therefore, yes, Shastram also there is contradiction, seeming contradictions, contradictory statements. So durastam ajnaninam krite dure tishtati brahma. Jnayam krite antike, it is near. Therefore, one need not travel anywhere to know this Nyayam Brahma. Atmatvat, Antike iti, Samipe. Samipa is how much Samipa, how much close. It is you, that is Samipa. That which is close proximity. Close means it is so close. That is why Upa, Samipe, Upa, Samipe, Upanishad, Samipe Stitva. What is so Upa, so close? It is Atma, it is myself. I am close to myself. See, I am close to myself. There are two eyes. There is only one eye. That is, I am close to myself. The mind says, the mind is one eye, other one is I Shuddha eye. The mind acknowledges a fact that Aham Atma iti. That is, Aham Atma is the Atma. Aham Atma can be known, can be recognized. That fact only through the help of Upadhi, Pratyaya, Bodham, Pratibodha Viditam Matam, Bodham Prati. Otherwise, how Brahma can be recognized? It requires a Upadhi. Through Upadhi, it is recognized. The Upadhi could be a subtle Upadhi, could be a gross Upadhi. Bodham Prati, that is a beautiful way of recognizing that Bodham in every thought. Every thought is there in between the two thoughts. But Brahma, which is Nyayam, it is. You cannot know as an object, it is. You know the thought, pot thought, along with the pot thought. Pot comes to light, but along with the pot thought, that pot consciousness, which is without any adjective, that which exists in between the gap of the thoughts, that is unobjectifiable, not available for knowing through sense organ. Sense organ can pick up only when there is an adjective to the consciousness, pot consciousness, mat consciousness, but consciousness as such, because it is you. Therefore, it is sukshma, ati sukshma, sukshmatva sukshmaha. So, therefore, it is sukshmatvat avijnayam, durastam cha antike cha tat anadimat param brahma tishtati sarvam avritya tishtati. Then the next shloka number 17. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha stitam.
अविभक्तं
अविभक्तं
च
च
भूतेषु
भूतेषु
विभक्तमिव
विभक्तमिव
च
च
स्थितम्
स्थितम्
भूतभर्तृ च तज्ज्ञेयं ग्रसिष्णु प्रभविष्णु च
भूतभृतं
भूतभृतं
च
च
तज्ज्ञेयं
तज्ज्ञेयं
ग्राजिष्णु
ग्रसिष्णुप्रभविष्णु
प्रभविष्णु
च
च.
So Brahma is Avijnayam, but Arjuna wanted to know Kim Tat Brahma, Jnayam Brahma. But Bhagavan says it is Avijnayam. If it is Avijnayam, then why don't you tell me that before? Then I would not have even started my inquiry into that unknowable Brahma. You have been talking about that which cannot be known, unknowable. No. It is not knowable as a Vishaya. What we know is, what we can know through sense organs is the objects which are divided, limited in terms of time, in terms of space, in terms of another object. We can know only those things which are subject to divisions, limitations. Therefore, what we do, we think ourselves also to be limited. That is where the problem creeps in. Because we know things which are limited, and therefore we think we ourselves also to be limited. But Brahma is avibhaktam, like Akasha. Akashavat aparichinnam Brahma. Bhaj, vibhaktam, it's division. Even though the space, Akasha seems to be divided by the walls of the pot, but it is undivided. It is all pervasive. Akasha is the example we give, close example we give for Brahma. Akashavat yata akashaha tadvat Brahma iti. It is avibhaktam. The kshetram is avibhaktam. Kshetrajna is avibhaktam. So it is avibhaktam. Tat Brahma, kshetrajna rupam tad Brahma, bhuteshu, pranishu, charachareshu, bhuteshu means beings, in all the beings, whether it is inert or jada or chetana. Charachareshu, pranishu, tad Brahma, the kshetrajna rupam tad Brahma, avibhaktam. It is vyomavat vyapta dehaya, Dakshinamurtahe namaha, vyomavat, like Akasha, vyomavat avi binnam, that Brahma, that Nyayam Brahma, vibhaktam ivacha stitam, as though it is vibhaktam as though it is divided, because of the Sharira, different bodies are there. Therefore, that avibhaktam Brahma भिन्नम इव दृश्यते यथा आकाशः एकः एव आकाशः सः आकाशः घटादिभेदेन भिन्नत्वेन दृश्यते तद्वत् तस्मै व्योमवत् तिष्ठति व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय. For this avibhaktam brahma bhuteshu avibhaktam brahma vibhaktam iva, as though divided. The whole Vedanta is iva, as though it is not real division. If there is real division, then we cannot remove the divisions. The divisions, if they are real and if they are perceived, then it cannot be removed. It is real division. Because divisions are not real, therefore, because the divisions are seemingly divisions. Seemingly divisions, therefore, it is divisionless that Brahma, which is Nyayam, that alone sustains everything. If it is divided, then each being will be sustained by different Brahma. Will be different, sustained by different, because then Brahma is also an object. It is the same Brahma, which, because we said Sarvabhrata, if Bhuta Bhartracha, then second line it is said, Bhutanam Bharta. Brahma is Bhutanam Bharta. He is the one who sustains everything. Sustains everything means each one is not individually sustained by a separate Brahma. All the things, whether it is Charam or Acharam, they are sustained by the same Brahma. And all the things, they are the individual packets like photon packets in the stream of light. They are there. They are separately there, but there is non-dividing, non-divisionless, that Brahma is there, which alone sustains everything. And that cannot be known by the divided things. So therefore, because of the individual beings and individual objects, that all pervading Brahma appears to be separate, appears to be individual. Vibhaktam iva tishtati. That vibhaktam is not real. It is, if it is really vibhaktam, then each and every being, whether living being or non-living, everything will have separate Brahma. If that is Brahma, then it is objectified. It is not Sukshma. It must be available for knowing. It is not so. So therefore, Bhuta Bhartru, when we say Bhuta Bhartru, Bhutanam Bharta, therefore, that Vibhaktam iva tishtati, that is clarified. Avibhaktam tat Brahma, Vibhaktam iva stitam, and that is Bhuta Bhartru, Bhutanam Bharta. That Nyayam Brahma, that Nyatavyam Brahma, Praninam, Bhutanam, Characharanam, Bharta, Bharana Karta, Bharanam, it is Vibharti, Poshanam, Poshayitru, Palayitru. It is a Palayita, that alone sustains. Sustains, it means after creation it is sustained. So in the beginning it is projected, that is creation, then it is sustained, and finally it is dissolved, devouring. All these are seeming things happening and Brahma. But really speaking, there is no creation, there is no sustenance, there is no destruction. All these are superimposed on Brahma. Therefore, we say creation. What creation is? Nothing is created, is projected on Brahma. That Brahma sustains. Therefore, Brahma becomes a doer of sustainer, that that kartrutvam. No. Just being there, it sustains, not affected by what it sustains. Similarly, it goes away. Similarly, that the Jagat goes away. Brahma doesn't lose anything. Everything is sustained by that Brahma, that sustainer, that Adhara doesn't undergo any change. Therefore, it Bhuta Bhartru, Sthiti Kale Bhuta Bhartru, Grasishnu is Grasanam, devouring, Samhara. So, Pralaya Kale Samharaha. Everything dissolves, goes back unto Brahma. Yataf, all these things which has come from whom? Unto that which resolves. Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam, Mai Sarvam Layam Yati. But everything comes from me alone, me that Nyayam Brahma, that Kshetragya, me is Kshetragya Brahma. So from me everything is comes, everything is projected. By me everything is sustained, unto me everything is resolved. Like a Swapna. In Swapna, who is the creator of the Swapna Jagat? You are the creator, you are Ishvara, you project and you sustain. And finally you withdraw also. Grasishnu. Similarly, this Brahma also, this Vyavaharika, the reality is projected, sustained, and finally it is consumed. It is resolved unto Brahma. But Brahma doesn't remain the doer of all these things. It remains as it is. That's why we use the word Sakshi. So Grasishnu, Napumsakalinga Grasishnu, Prabha Vishnu cha. Prabha Vishnu is Prabha is Utpatti. So Utpatti Kale, Prakarshena, Prakarshena Anekatmana Bhavati. Utpatti Kale. Utpatti Kale Prabha Vishnu. Sitikale Bhutanam Bharta Bhuta Bhartru. Bhuta Bhartru, Napumsakalinga. Because Brahma is Napumsakalinga, therefore Bhuta Bhartru. And Prast. And Pralaya Kale Grasishnu. So Sthiti Kale Bhuta Bhartru. Utpatti Kale Prabha Vishnu. Pralaya Kale Grasishnu Tad Brahma. So Grasishnu Ishnuch Pratyaya. Gras plus Ishnuch Kridanta. So it is declined like Madhu Shabda. Ukarantaha Napumsakalingaha. Madhu Madhuni Madhuni Ishnuch. So Grasishnu Prabha Vishnu cha. Tat Brahma Jnayam Brahma. So all these are the Brahma being that, what it is. But all these, from the standpoint of the Jagat, the Brahma is looked upon as Bhuta Bharta, Grasishnu, Prabha Vishnu. When it is Prabha Vishnu, it is Brahmaji. We give a form, Namarupa. We give, yeah, Namaru Sagunam Brahma, that Brahmaji. Bhuta Bharta, Mahavishnu. Grasishnu, it is Rudra, Shivaha iti. Brahma being what it is given a form and a name. So therefore Grasishnu, Prabha Vishnu, both Avarta. One who devours the entire Jagat at the time of dissolution. It means it goes back to the cause. So therefore it is goes unmanifest. It goes into unmanifest avastha. And Prabha Vishnu again comes into manifestation. Bhutanam avyakta अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनदानिव तत्र का परिदेवना iti Bhagavad said before in the 8th chapter, I think. So therefore that Nyayam Brahma, it is Brahma, it is Vishnu, it is Rudra, that Nyayam Brahma. It is given a form and name so that we can appreciate that Brahma. In the Purana it is given a form, therefore Brahmaji, Vishnu and Rudra iti. So therefore that Nyayam Brahma, which is avibhaktam bhuteshu vibhaktam ivasitam tadeva bhutabhart Vasishnu Prabha Vishnu cha iti. And in the Bhashyam, Bhashyakara says, important note, Prabha Vishnu Prabhavanashilam yata rajvadihi sarpadi mitya vikalpitasya. That is what the creation is, projecting a snake on the rope. Adhyaropa. What is creation? In fact, the word uh, creation is sometimes a misleading word. Creation is something is created. Nothing new is created. It, it is projection. Swami Vivekananda also uses the word only projection. Instead of creation, projection. On the rope, Sarpa is projected. That is what the creation is. Adhyaropa. Then Apavada is resolving back. It is Grasishnu. So Rajvadihi Nitya Sarpa Vikalpita. Kalpitasya Bhashyakara in the Bhashyam he says. All these are descriptions of indescribable Brahma. Then the next shloka, another beautiful shloka. Let us read. Jyotishamaphi tajyotistamasah paramuchyate.
ज्योतिषामपि
ज्योतिषामपि
तज्ज्योतिस्तमसः
तज्ज्योतिस्तमसः
परमुच्यते
परमुच्यते
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम्.
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम्.
If Brahma is available everywhere, Sarva Vyapi, Sarvam Avritya Tishtati, Sarva Vyapya Tishtati, Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. Everywhere, all the time means there is no time. There is no time, there is no place. In fact, there is no object from which is away from Brahma. At the same time, Brahma is not known, not known as, not known. It is avigneyam. Does it mean Brahma is some kind of tamas? No, it is not like that. That is dismissed by Bhagavan. In fact, Bhashyakara in the Bhashyam asks such question and then clarifies. Because it is not known, is it something like darkness? Because in the darkness you cannot identify anything. So therefore, is it like tamas? No, it is Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is a light of all the lights. An object is known in the presence of light, but that which doesn't require a light, and that is a light of all the lights. It is a source of all the lights. It means self-revealing. It is self-evident. We don't require a light to know it. To see an object available outside, you require the light. The light is required to illumine the object, and there must be light of the eye also. Eyes also must be present. That is, the mind should be available behind the eyes, and the object also must be in the outside world. It's the sufficient light. Then the object turns to light. You know the object. Therefore, external light, internal light, both are required. Internal light means the light of the eye. But this Brahma, which is Jyotishamapi Jyotihi, that which is self-revealing, because it is self-existent, therefore it is self-revealing. Because eyes see, eyes are self-existent. No. If eyes are not backed up by the mind, eyes cannot see the object. Even the mind also. Mind is self-evident? No. Mind is also jada. Rupam drishyam lochanam drak tad drishyam drakta manasam drishyadi vrittaya sakshi rigeve ato drishyate. So that sakshi chaitanyam is there, therefore only the mind is also conscious. Otherwise, mind also is unconscious, it is not evident. But what about consciousness? That is always drikr. Adrishyate. It is always self-existing, self-revealing, self-effulgent, lighting up all the lives. Therefore, Jyotisham Jyotihi, which is the illuminator, which doesn't require an illuminator. It is a Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is something like Ishvara is there, Ishvara doesn't have a Ishvara. That's why Ishvara is called Anataha. Nataha na vidyate yasya saha anataha. It doesn't have a master because he is the ultimate. Similarly, here it is Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is Jyotihi, which illumines everything. Everything is lit up. Everything is known to that, but that cannot be known as an object. That is why we say Bhagavan watches every actions. It means you can cheat other person, but you cannot cheat yourself. The cheater knows the cheating, that he is cheating. So therefore, the Jyotisham Jyotihi, illuminator of everything, and that doesn't require an illuminator. Sun illumines everything, but that also is the light of the sun is because of the Atma, because of Brahma, Brahma Jyotihi. That the sun alone we worship. That's Savituhu Varenyam Pargaha Dhimahi Vargo Devasi Dhimahi iti. So that Jnayam Brahma, Jnana Gamyam Brahma, that Brahma, Jyotisham Jyotihi, that Jyotisham Jyotihi, Tamasaha Param Uchyate. It is Param, it is above Tamasaha Param Uchyate. The Kshetrajna Rupam Param Brahma, which is Jyotisham Jyotihi, Prakashayitra, which doesn't require a Prakasha Karta. Suryadinam api Prakashayita, and that doesn't require a Prakashayita, that Jyotihi Prakashayitra. Tamasaha Param. Tamaha is referring to Prakriti. Prakriti is Jada, Achetana, Anatma. Therefore, Tamaha, that is Prakriti, Param. Param is Parastad, Duram, iti. So Tamasah Param Uchyate. It is above the tamas. So it is above ignorance. Ignorance, tamasaha we can take it as a prakriti, or tamasaha we can take the meaning to be ignorance. Even the ignorance is known, is lit up by this Jyotisham Jyotihi. Tamasah Param. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. As said in the Mundaka Upanishad. Tasya bhasa, because of that, everything is illumined. Even ignorance is illumined. Yada dityagatam tejaha jagadbhasayate kilam. The 15th chapter. Adityagatam yat tejaha. Yada adityagatam tejaha jagadbhasayate kilam. Tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. Even the ignorance is lit up by this Chaitanyam. And that where is that Chaitanyam? That Jnayam, that knowledge, the Jnanam, Jnayam, that is to be known, and Jnana Gamyam, Jnanena Gamyam, by knowledge what is known, Putra Tishtati Hridi, Sarvasya Hridi, Pishtitam, Tishtitam, Sarvasya Hridi, in the heart of everything, that Tachubram Jyotisham Jyotihi, the Mundaka Upanishad, Tachubram, that is Shubra, it is white, pure. Pure means Shubra is white, pure. And Jyotisham Jyotihi, that Brahma, which is Jnayam, Jnanena Jnatum Yogyam, Jnanena Gamyam, Prapyam, that Brahma, Hridaye, Buddho, Buddhi Gughayam, Vishtitam, Visheshena, Stitam. Vishtitam is Vipurvaka Tadatu, Taprataya. Visheshena Stitam. Yo Veda Nigitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. In the Hridaya Guha, it is Vishtitam. See, this is Mahavakya. Having said that Brahma, which is Nyayam, which is Sarvabhartr, it is Grasishnu, Prabhavishnu, it is a creator. Having said that Brahma, where it is located in the Hridaya of Sarvasya, of all. Therefore, Atma is Brahma. That Mahavakya, that Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam is presented. So that Nyayam Brahma, that Hridi, Sarvasya Hridi, Sarvesham, Bhutanam, Hridaye, Buddhau, Guhaya, Buddhi Guhaya, Visheshena, Sakshi Rupena, Stitam Bhavati. Beautiful, beautiful Bhagavan says here, Hridi, in the body, Visheshena Stitam. As what? As very Atma, not affected by anything, including anything this Upadhi, it just in the Shariram, not affected by the Upadhi, not affected by the properties of the Shariram. Shariram is conscious because of that, and Shariram, and that is because of the association. The association is not real. The Shariram is Chetana. The Chetanatvam of the Shariram is borrowed from the Chaitanyam. Therefore, Shariram appears to be Chetana. Minus Shariram, Chaitanyam continues to be. The Sharira, Achetana falls apart. Therefore, Hridi Sarvasya, Hridi Buddhau Guhayam Tishtati. That Brahma, which is Jnanam, which is knowledge, and that is to be known, and that is known by only Jnanena Gamyam, only by knowledge, only by Shastra. Jnana Gamyam is Shastrena Gamyam, and that is present where? In the Hridaya Guha of all the beings. Therefore, don't look for that in the outside world. It is inside. It is inside means from the standpoint of the Shariram, we say as Sakshi Chatram is inside. There is no inside and outside for that. Stop here. Next Shloka we will see. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Dhuvyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadaihi Jayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanaavastidadadgateena manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginah Yasyantam na vidusvara suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ